Very good.
Well, you mentioned William Friedkin. I just finished, this morning, the William Friedkin memoir.
I'm working my way through it.
Okay, it's amazing.
It's great.
I would have to say it's one of the best, at least film-related memoirs. But I was telling people earlier, even if you have no interest in film, I don't care who you are, you should read it, because it's just a really honest view on life, on what one's life is. I mean, I definitely think it's up there with Robert Evans' memoir.
Well, Robert Evans has led such a colorful life, and his memoir is being republished. With the Friedkin book, what's great about it is that, I mean, it's all about filmmaking, but he's also very honest about what his shortcomings were.
I think that's on every other page. I mean,
which were primarily run by ego. It's not an uncommon trait among directors of that period. I mean, that was their downfall.
Yeah, no, but he's very honest. I mean, his honesty is so refreshing now. I mean, and it's just it's also very interesting just because you have a totally, I think after reading it, you definitely have a totally different interpretation of other people after reading that. Harold Pinter, a different perspective, of Harold Pinter, certainly of Friedkin, but of other actors and everything. I mean, Sorcerer could have been going a whole different way.
Yeah, and that's
my favorite Friedkin film.
If he had gotten Steve McQueen.
He told that story last time he was on the show. You know what, though? There's something that happened to Friedkin because after The Exorcist, I mean, he had French Connection and The Exorcist. And almost everything he did for so many years afterwards was just kind of doomed.
Right.
And even if the movies worked, like I just rewatched Blue Chips recently, and I think that movie works. Even if they work, they weren't successful financially. Nobody really paid much attention to them. But somehow, somewhere in the past few years, he's become extremely cool again. Meaning hot. Cool meaning hot.
Well, he made 2 films back to back that we would not normally associate with works of an older gentleman there, but they have more intensity, especially Killer Joe.
Yeah, Bug and
than
Killer
many
Joe.
young people's film. Killer Joe is just, I mean, I wish I could have seen it in the theater, but I didn't. And I did see Bug in the theater, and I thought Bug was just so disturbing. But those are films written by the same person, or based on source material of the same person, that you would associate with a younger person. But here's this guy who's lived. I mean, really, truly lived. And especially Killer Joe is just amazing.
Well, there's the two directors that I think are still as fearless as they were when they first started are De Palma and Friedkin. I think they're the 2 directors that are not afraid to be just as subversive in De Palma's part. Well, both of them, subversive or aggressive, controversial, confrontational. They're 2 directors not afraid to be confrontational in their material.
They don't feel they need to be liked.
No.
I
they
mean,
don't endear
that's
themselves
true with
to
De Palma. I thought that, but now I realize with Friedkin, just reading the first chapter or the introduction or something, you're just like, oh my God, you're just like, wow. I mean, that first, forget everything. If you don't read it, if you just want to read something very interesting, read that prologue. That's fascinating. I mean, that says a lot right there. But he is just, I like how, though, he doesn't say, he sort of almost wants to say he regrets it, but at the end of the book you realize, no, I don't. I can live with this. I can, if, God forbid I go tomorrow, I'm proud of what I did. I wouldn't change anything. Although I do think he does desperately want Steve McQueen and Robert Mitchum and all those guys in that movie, though. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that's everybody around that period of time, though. And, I don't think that anybody would have made those waivers for Steve McQueen. I don't think Bogdanovich would have. I don't think Coppola would have. because McQueen wanted Ali MacGraw on set in some capacity. If not cast, he wanted her to be an executive producer or something.
Yeah, I was
because
just like,
he didn't want to leave her alone.
I was just
Evans
like, are you
did.
crazy? Dude, I mean, really? I wanted to say, don't you just want a couple of months away from her? Really? I mean, associate producer, you really? I couldn't get. I was really shocked by that.
If anybody knew the danger of leaving Ali MacGraw alone, it was McQueen, because he benefited from Evans doing that.
I know. I realized that, but I was just like, dude, dump her. I would have been just dump her.
Ali MacGraw, was she ever? I mean, she was never a great actress, though, right? Am I wrong in that? She was a little
I'm going to agree with you, Jamie. I agree with you.
Really.
200%.
She got an Oscar nomination.
She was a blank.
Was she so bad that she was on Hollywood Squares ever?
Well, I don't know if she was that bad. No, Hollywood Squares was reserved for all of Burt Reynolds' friends. That was...
and I posted this on Facebook earlier. I think, even if you're not interested in film or anything, I don't care what your career or what your passions are, I just think everyone should read the Friedkin book, because I just think it's an honest view of someone who just went into the arena, didn't live life on the sidelines.
I like it because it's really extremely well written. Like it's got a journalistic kind of style.
Like Peter O'Toole's book.
Well, I didn't read that, but
but he's a real writer, though. That's what I mean. He is a real writer. He's not a hack. I mean, William Friedkin actually can write. That's what I mean. Like that was the thing when Peter O'Toole wrote there was supposed to be 3 volumes. I don't think we'll ever see the 3rd volume. But the 2 volumes, especially the first one, Loitering with Intent, the thing that he's actually an excellent writer.
There's also the art of storytelling, and Friedkin is a great storyteller. He's just one of those guys, that's met everybody, has an opinion on everything, and it's great.
He doesn't hold back. I love that. He does not hold back.
Well, you get the sense
I like his sense of humor in the book too.
He's beautiful.
He's got a very acerbic kind of wit, that often comes out in the wrong at the wrong times.
And he admits that. He admits that, though.
Yeah.
But De Palma was the same way. They said that De Palma was the guy that loved to make you uncomfortable. Like he would say the most inappropriate things just to watch you be on edge in conversation. So I think that and that's so reflected in their work. Like I said, confrontational.